Matra Ke. Donnez-moi un microphone, s'il vous plaît.
There's another one.
Oh. Could I just use one of these?
This one.
No, il programma.
I prefer one of these. Si c'est possible.
Give him the entire thing, the microphone stand and the microphone.
Merci beaucoup. Bien sûr. Hare Krishna. Is this your house? Okay. What is your name? Huh? Ram. Oh, I heard of you. I'm from all over the world. Shri Ram. Thank you.
Good.
Good. That's fine. Thank you very much. That's okay. Okay. Assise, s'il vous plaît. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna.
Krishna Krishna.
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Rama Rama.
Rama Rama.
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare. Haribo.
So Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
You know how to say, oh, what a pity per cause in Creole here. But my Creole is very bad. My Hindi also, very Hindi, bahut kharab hai. And therefore, I will, is it okay if I speak in English?
Yes.
Otherwise it will be very short class. It may be extremely short, 1 minute. Okay, well, you know, Ram, I've met Ram, there's Ram. And who is Ram's wife? Or daughter, or who's the lady of the house? Okay. Is your name Sita?
Gita.
Gita. Gita Ram.
Seriously, it's Gita.
Okay, that's fine. It's a good name. Excellent name. But I was told you have this picture here. They told me. Yeah. You're well known for having this beautiful picture. It's amazing. Radha and Krishna on the swing. It's called Julan. Julan Yatra. The Swing Festival. Did you paint it?
No.
Yes, so anyway, it's really nice to be here. And excusez-moi, pardonnez-moi, c'est pas possible pour moi parler, causer en créole ou hindi. Mais anglais, c'est possible. So, I was told about this picture. Can you all see this picture, the big picture? It's really beautiful, actually. It's taken at least the basic idea from one of our books, Nectar of Devotion, Radha and Krishna on the swing together. In Sanskrit and Hindi, swing is Julan. Yatra means festival. Julan Yatra, the swing festival of Radha and Krishna. So, of course, Lord Krishna was here about 5,000 years ago, long time ago. He was here. And while he was here, he displayed all sorts of wonderful and amazing pastimes with his very dear devotees, his beloved devotees. And as we see in the picture here, particularly with Radharani, who is his topmost devotee. Yes, Radha means worshipper, and Rani means queen. So Rani means she is the queen of worshippers of Lord Krishna, of the Supreme Lord. And they were here 5,000 years ago and performed so many amazing and wonderful pastimes together. But those pastimes are really, well, at least you could say, based on their pastimes in the kingdom of God, in the spiritual world, where life is eternal, Sat Chit Ananda. Sat Chit Ananda. Sat means eternal, Chit means fully conscious, not influenced ever by any ignorance, but fully conscious. And Ananda means blissful. And not just sort of happy as we get sometimes. People here in Lallmatie, sometimes they get a bit happy. But this Ananda is more like an overwhelming type of ecstasy. Just very extreme happiness. And just really wonderful and amazing happiness in the kingdom of God. Satchit Ananda. Sometimes in Hindi, I assume you all speak Hindi, but sometimes they say, Aaj ke Ananda ki jai. Are you familiar with that one? It's a very common or popular saying. Aaj, today, Aaj ke Ananda, today's happiness, ki jai, we celebrate. Yes, so what I thought of starting with reading this evening is actually a very brief description of what things are like in the kingdom of God, which is sort of typified or demonstrated, you could say, by what we see in the picture. Radha and Krishna just enjoying their beautiful spiritual relationship together. Just a most wonderful thing. And even though we experience some happiness sometimes in this world, but compared to that sort of happiness, our happiness is really quite insubstantial. It's not very great. In fact, oftentimes people think that if they've been suffering, like that maybe they're being very sick, maybe someone had COVID. I met today with one of our devotees who had COVID during that time, and he almost died. So when people get very sick, and then if they recover and they come back to feeling just normal, then they think, oh, this is wonderful. It's just so wonderful. I'm not sick any longer. But actually they're just experiencing some normal sort of situation. Nothing very special at all. But here, this ecstasy, this great happiness in the kingdom of God, the eternal world of the Supreme Lord, that is just another dimension altogether. And like I mentioned, it's sort of typified or particularly demonstrated in the relationship between Lord Krishna, who's there, if you can see him, he's on your left, and Radharani, who's on my side, on the right, as they have this Julan Yatra, this swing festival. So, let me just read this verse. It's quite a verse, actually. First of all, though, can you please repeat after me? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Yes, so people here within this world, including here in Lallmatie and the whole area, I know it's very well, flak, etc., all around. People don't really have experience of that type of happiness. It's just a different dimension altogether. And rather, I mentioned sometimes there's just relief from distress. But people feeling that relief, they think, oh, it's wonderful, it's great. So generally people they can't really begin to appreciate what the transcendental spiritual ecstasy is like of the relationship with the Supreme Lord. Prabhupada, our spiritual master, his picture's on the end there, right?
Yes.
I guess, yeah. He told a little story in that regard. In some little village somewhere in a remote part of India many years ago, this one old lady, some gentleman did something which really pleased her. And she's like the oldest person in the village, and this gentleman really pleased her. And she wanted to just say something really nice. So she wanted to give a blessing, Ashirvad. She wanted to give some Ashirvad, some blessing for his well-being and his progress in life to this gentleman who helped her. So you know what she said? She said, I bless you. May you become a policeman. And the man thought, what? What sort of blessing is that? But the thing is, the local policeman. He was like the most respected person in the village. He was very important. Everyone was on their best behavior when they met with him. So she thought, oh, this is the best thing, to be a policeman. This is great. So here in this world, like I said, in some cases, people think that happiness, well, they call happiness something which is just relief from some sort of distress. And it's not really like some wonderful and beautiful experience. But in the spiritual world, it is like that. So I'm going to read this verse. It's actually from a book by Srila Prabhupada's guru, his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, who, when you look at the pictures on this lowest level, where these couple of lights are, Prabhupada, our spiritual masters, right at that end, to your left, and then coming this way, the next one is Bhaktisiddhanta, who was the guru of our Srila Prabhupada, and he was living, he was active sort of like 100 years ago, more or less. So he translated this book. It's called Brahma Samhita. And in this book, verse 56 gives a description of the spiritual world. Just one verse, but it's really very beautiful. Let me try and read the Sanskrit. It's a little tricky, but it's very beautiful. Shriya Kanta Kanta Parama Purusha Kalpa Taravo Druma Bhumis Chintamini Kana Maitoyam Amritam Kataganam Natyam Gamanam Api Vansi Priya Saki Chidanandam Jyoti Paramapi Tadasvadyam Apicha Sayatra Shirapti Sravati Sura Vivyascha Sumahan Nileshadakyo Vavrajatina Hiyatrapi Samaya Bhaje Sweta Dvipam Tamaham Iha Golokam Itiyam Vidantaste Santashiti Vira Lachara Kati Paye. One of my favorite verses. And here's the translation. I worship that transcendental seat known as Sweta Dweep, where as loving consorts, the Lakshmis, the goddesses of fortune, in their unalloyed spiritual essence, practice the loving service of the Supreme Lord Krishna as their only beloved, where every tree is a transcendental purpose tree, where the soil is the purpose gem, where all water is nectar, where every word is a song, where every step is a dance, where the flute is the favorite attendant, effulgence is full of transcendental bliss, and the supreme spiritual entities are all enjoyable and tasty. Where numberless milk cows always emit transcendental oceans of milk, where there is eternal existence of transcendental time, who is ever present and without past or future, and hence is not subject to the quality of passing away, even for the space of half a moment. That realm is known as Goloka only to a very few self-realized souls in this world. So I hope you were able to follow that. Sometimes his English is a little complicated. Yes. So this is describing, in a very brief way, some of the special features of the kingdom of God, the spiritual world. Goloka Vrindavan, the realm of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, long, long, long way away from here, where these pastimes, like this Julan Yatra, the swing pastime of Radha and Krishna, these pastimes are going on every day. In fact, I was thinking about this, because I think it was Amar, was it, or somebody told me about the picture. That was you. Yeah, right. So I just did a little checking around, and there's one nice little, just very short story about the swing pastime. Now we have one lady here who's feeling very hot. We don't want you to melt down. Just pointed at her. I'm by the window, I'm okay. Better to be a bit hot than too cold. You know, I used to go to Russia. The coldest weather I was in was minus 46. Have you ever been in minus anything? It's very cold. It's extremely cold. Better to be a little hot. But are you okay? You're going to be okay. We'll move it right next to you. So, okay, anyway. Oh yes, this swing pastime, there's a very nice little description, it's short, about a place where there is a swing or like a frame which they hang a swing from, or they used to hang a swing from long ago. They would hang a swing for Radha and Krishna. You know? Ramji, don't point it at me. I'm anti-fans. Just point it into the room. Yeah. And particularly this young lady here. I'm sorry. I won't draw attention to you any longer. Yeah, that's okay. That's fine. So there's a place there. Well, actually, this place is in a little village in UP, in Uttar Pradesh. It's called Radhakund. It's a very sacred place. I mean, the village itself, there are many, many places of pastimes of the Lord and Radharani there. And so there's this swing, or it's a frame. It's made of stone, actually. It's just standing there. And sometimes they suspend a swing from it, and then with deities of Radha and Krishna, they swing the deities. And it's called Julan Talab. Again, Julan meaning swing, and Talab basically meaning next to the lake. And it's the same story as we see here. Radha and Krishna swinging together, and their friends, their gopi friends, their cowherd girl friends, pushing them on the swing. Pushing them just very gently and very nicely, pushing them back and forth. But then, because it's the spiritual world, and well, we read that the soil, the ground, the earth, in the spiritual world, the verse said, it is the purpose gem, it is wish fulfilling. The rocks there are wish fulfilling. You can take a rock and make a wish, and it'll just come true right in front of your eyes. That's the spiritual world, because they're wish fulfilling. The ground is wish fulfilling. So anyway, there at that place, Radha and Krishna are being swung on the swing, and suddenly the swing expands and becomes a little bigger. And now, instead of just the two, Radha and Krishna, instead of just being the two on the swing, now there's four. Two other of the cowherd girls are there, probably Lalita and Vishaka, the closest girlfriends of Srimati Radharani. So they join them on the swing, and the swing sort of expands a little so they can fit on it. So now you've got four. And then magically, it expands and becomes a bit bigger. First of all, there was two, then four. And if you keep doubling, after four you get 8. Right. Maths. Yeah, after 4 you get 8. And now there's more gopis, more cowherd girls. And then it expands to again, and the number doubles, and you've got now 16 on the swing. It's a big swing. And they're still gently pushing it back and forward. And then it expands again. From 16, now it's 32. And so it's really it's a really very big swing. But then, devotees and friends, what happens? It expands again. Now it's, are you good at maths? What's 32 times 2? Pretty good. 64. So it's Radha and Krishna now with this whole lot of their gopi girlfriends. Now there's 64. And then it doubles. Now there's 128. And it's a huge swing. But they're still being pushed back and forth. Very nice. And then it expands again. And you got 256. And then it expands again, 512. Then it expands again, and it's 1024. And then, as my dear old friend Dina Nandu Prabhu from Vrindavan would say, then you have megabytes and megabytes of gopis on the swing, and it just expands. So that's there in Radhakund, that Julan Talab. Julan meaning swing, Talab meaning next to the lake, which is called Radhakund. So that's a little swing pastime. It's related, it's connected with this here. And it's really wonderful, it's really beautiful. So these pastimes, the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, and his topmost Radharani, topmost devotee Radharani, the queen of worshippers, they enjoy such pastimes in the spiritual world. And these magical, and that's even as magical things go, it's not so big actually. When Krishna was here about 5,000 years ago, he lifted Govardhan Hill. I'm sure some of you have been to our festival. It's usually October, Govardhan Puja. And so Krishna lifted that hill on the little finger of his left hand and held it for a week. And that's a hill. That's a hill. And we walked, in fact, I was there just about, 10 days ago or so. No, 2 weeks ago. And it is 23 kilometers around. It's not a small hill. And he was just a small boy, like 7 years old. And he lifted the hill on the little finger of his left hand. He didn't even use all his fingers, and he didn't use both hands. So how's that? And even that's not so much, because here in this world, all the planets are floating around, and he's supporting them all. And they never collide. You never hear of that, do you? Some couple of planets crashing into each other. No. They go around in very systematic ways. It's incredible, actually, under the control of Lord Krishna. So these pastimes of Krishna that he performs here, like lifting Govardhan Hill here in this world, they're going on in the spiritual world, but on even a more astonishing scale. Yes. So, like here, in this verse, a few of the features of the kingdom of God are mentioned. And, let's just look at them. Every tree is a transcendental purpose tree, like a wish-fulfilling tree. Every tree there is a wish-fulfilling tree. Here, you all know, trees are just trees. They're just very ordinary. I was just in Reunion, actually, just before I came here last week. I was in Reunion for a week, and they got so many lychee trees, which are just full of lychees. Oh, wow. Just full of them. Just red with lychees. And no fruit bats. So they just stay there on the trees and the people pick them and that's it. But here we have nice lychees, but we have fruit trees fruit bats. So I noticed when we came flying in from reunion, I think it was on Thursday, anyway, just one of the days not long ago at all. And you see all these lychee trees with nets over them. Yeah. Trying to protect them from the fruit bats. But in the kingdom of God, not only do you not need to worry about the fruit bats, and the fruit bats don't need to worry about getting enough lychees. They get so many lychees, they just can't manage them. But still there's so many lychees available for everyone. But not only that, as this verse says, every tree is a transcendental purpose tree, means a desire tree. Like the rocks on the ground, they're also, you can make a wish and there it is. It'll just come right in front of you. So the rocks and the trees are like that. And any time, now of course it's mango season, it's lychee season, but wait till what? January, or sort of the end of January or something, lychee season is over. And mango season, more or less. But in the spiritual world, in the kingdom of God, you can go up to any tree. It may just look like some ordinary tree. And you ask for some lychees, and you'll have lychees. And then if you ask, well, could I also have some mangoes, please? You'll have mangoes also. It's a fact. And then if you say, what? I don't know. What's your favorite? What's your favorite fruit? Mangoes. Okay. What type? You know the best type of mango, what's it called? In Bombay, in Mumbai. What? Alfonso. The Alfonso mangoes. Did you ever have an Alfonso mango? He has. You can ask him about it. So have I. But if you haven't had an Alfonso mango, you have not lived. It's within this world, but it's something like very high level of sweetness and juiciness and sure. It's like, otherworldly actually. Yeah, the king of fruits. So that there in the spiritual world, you can get Alfonso mangoes. You can get, mangoes like the new ones for making achar with. But you can also get the completely ripe ones at the same time. Because this is the spiritual world. We can't do that here. And if you want a few apples, you can get a few apples as well. And even some grapes. Yeah. We don't have experience like that in this world. From a certain type of tree, you only get one type of fruit, and only for a few months, or say a few months in the year, and then that's it, finished. So this world, we have fruit trees here, they have fruit trees there. But the fruit trees there are just on another level altogether. And of course the devotees, when they get their mangoes, lychees and whatever fruits that they just ask for from a tree, then you know what they do with them? they offer them to Krishna. They don't just eat them like it's for me, but they offer them to Krishna. Yes. So that was one thing mentioned here. The soil is the purpose, Jen. We talked about that a bit. All the water is nectar. I don't have any water here, but you know what I mean. You've all drunk water before. What have we got? Back at his place? Wellspring, is it? What's it called? Wellspring. Water. Let me just taste a little. And I will report back. Just give me a sec. That's enough. See, here in the spiritual world, all the water is nectar, like a nectar drink, you know. This is Wellspring. I will report back in a second. Wellspring. Not bad. It's okay. You know what okay means? Not bad, but not particularly good. And it's okay. I got another one.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, look at that. What type's that? Equivive.
Ovive.
Ovive. The water of life. Wow. Let me try that. Just this tiny bit. That's enough. I will report back. It's much like Wellspring. I can tell the difference. Anyway, just hold on to that. So, but all in the spiritual world, in the kingdom of God, the ordinary water like this tastes like nectar. You know, sometimes our devotees, they make some special drinks with different types of fruits and honey and sugar and cream or maybe yogurt or milk or something. And sometimes some of these drinks are amazing, truly amazing. And we call them nectar drinks. But in the kingdom of God, in Krishna's place, all the water, just the water, tastes like the best nectar drink you could possibly get here in Lallmatie or even in Flak. You know, on Lord Balaram's appearance day, I don't want to give away a trade secret, but in Durban, South Africa, where I'm based, on Lord Balaram's appearance day, it's August sometime, then we make a special drink for Lord Balaram, which is called Varuni. It's a special drink, and there are different recipes. And I don't want to give away too many trade secrets, but you get all these different, if you go to different temples around the world, you get these different types of Varuni drinks. In Durban, what they specialize in, can you believe this? It is honey mixed with, are you ready? Sprite. Honey and Sprite. Yeah. So that in the spiritual world, just the water is nectar, like our best nectar drink from Lallmatie. So Srila Jiva Goswami, one of our great one of our great gurus, going back 500 years. He makes a statement about this, about the water. He says, if there in the spiritual world, kingdom of God, Krishna's place, if their water tastes like our best nectar, then what is their nectar like? And he says, actually, we have never had experience of anything even remotely like that. And then the next thing is, every word is a song in the kingdom of God. Even when people just say, hello, how are you? You know, kimanya, kia rive, that sort of thing. Then, so anyway, you know what it's like. You meet someone in the street, oh, how are you doing? Oh, kia rive. Something along those lines. Comment ça va? Yes. But in the kingdom of God, when just ordinary talk, like, hello, how are you? That sort of talk. Every word is like nectar. Every word is a song. It's like they're singing. Can you imagine? Kimanya. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. Yeah. Prabhupada, I mentioned just under the last few days, Srila Prabhupada, well, in some places, there's a culture that you must, when you meet a person, you must ask them how they are. And if you don't, it's like very poor taste. So Prabhupada was being interviewed once, or he was going to be interviewed. It was just about to begin, and the interviewer asked Prabhupada, how are you? And Prabhupada responded, what difference does it make to you how I am? Because he knew this man was just saying it, just, as a formality. You know what? In other words, why bother asking me a question which you have no interest in? And then Prabhupada said, if I was dying, what difference would it make to you? Anyway, it's okay to ask Kimanya, pas de problème. You can ask, comment ça va? Qui arrive? You can ask, it's all right. But we should be interested. Like in my experience in Russia, I used to go to Russia. We have a Russian here, by the way. There she is. She's a Russian, a genuine one. She speaks Russian. I also speak some Russian. But in Russia, they don't ask each other, how are you? It's not done. You just say hello or something like that. And I remember when I first started going there, I would ask people, how are you? And the person would get very serious and give like a detailed description of how they are. Because they thought, I really want to know, how are you actually? But yes, in the spiritual world, every word is a song. Even just ordinary small talk. Nothing very serious or important. But it's all like a song. And again, Jiva Goswami, our great devotee from some hundreds of years ago, he says that if in the spiritual world their just ordinary talk is like our best singing, then what is it like when they sing? And he says, actually, we have no experience of anything like that. Who is our best singer in Lallmatie or surrounding areas? Anyway, whoever it is, when our best singer is singing their best, it's like ordinary talk in the spiritual world. Just like, oh, how are you doing? Oh, okay, nice to see you. Their ordinary talk is like our best singing. So what's it like when they sing? And then the other thing, every step is a dance. If you're just walking down the street to the shops or something like that to buy, some butter or some milk or something, every step is like our best dance. Who's the best dancer around here? Anyway, I'm sure somebody is. Is that the best dancer around here? Come, hey. Right. So what's his name? Soham. When he is dancing his best, he could easily be in a Bollywood movie. When the boy and the girl are meeting out in the forest, and suddenly a song starts, and all these, like 100 young men and 100 young women appear from the forest and just start dancing to the orchestra. Anyway, he could probably dance like that. But our best dancer, his or hers dancing, is like their ordinary walk when they're just walking down the street, just doing nothing in particular. And again, Jiva Goswami, you remember what I said. He says that their ordinary walking is like our best dancing. What is it like when they dance? We have no experience of that. And so Jiva Goswami makes the point, very interesting point, that because we have no experience of these things, we're just used to the versions of these things we get in Lallmatie or wherever in Mauritius. So because we cannot just grasp it, it's just beyond our experience, beyond our imagination, what these things are like, what the spiritual world is like. Srila Jiva Goswami says, therefore, very few people want to go there, because they just can't. It's just like a big question mark. They just cannot picture it at all. And therefore very few people want to go there. They would rather stay in Lallmatie. And Lallmatie is quite nice. Are you from Lallmatie? Lallmatie. Lallmatie. Oh, we got Lallmatie. Okay. Lallmatie's okay. So anyway, it's through pictures like this, and this one here also. These pictures of the Lord in his pastimes, pictures of them, and then descriptions of them. Then at least we can start to get some idea, even though it's not like really clear, but we start. getting some idea, and then some attraction can arise that yes, actually, I would quite like to go there because it seems pretty amazing. And numberless milk cows who are always giving oceans of transcendental milk. And there's time, transcendental time, who is always present without past or future. We cannot really grasp these things. So is Gita a good dancer?
Yes.
She is. I thought she might be. But even when she's dancing, going for it, it's like they're ordinary walking in the kingdom of God. I'm just appreciating your picture. It's nice. It's truly nice. It's beyond nice, actually. So anyway, this is the thing, devotees and friends. I hope you're able to follow what I'm saying. I don't want to sort of become too complicated or, talking about things which you don't have experience of much. But the thing is this, that we should try to develop some idea of what it's like in the spiritual world, what it's like in the kingdom of God. It is just really wonderful. And it's beyond just being really wonderful. It's just another dimension altogether. But through pictures like this and through these descriptions, we can start getting little ideas. Things start becoming a little clearer. What it's like in the spiritual world, in the kingdom of God. And the first in our different activities for developing our Krishna consciousness, the first activity, first step is to chant the names of the Lord, like we were doing earlier when I arrived. At least the young man who was here was singing, and you were singing too, yeah. And I think so many of you were singing. This is the first thing to chant the holy names, because Krishna, the Supreme Lord, is present in his names. And if you chant his names nicely, with attention, then you will be contacting him in his holy names. And if you do it nicely, you will feel the contact. Means that you will become very happy. Your anxieties will just sort of dissolve away. And any pressures and stresses and things like that, they'll all just dissolve away. Because you have contacted Krishna. It's just like, well, we have the fan going, so you contact the cooling air. And as a result, you become cool. So similarly, if we contact Krishna, then we pick up the nature of Krishna. Just like you pick up the nature of the cool air and you feel cool. So the nature of Krishna means Satchitananda, eternal, fully conscious, and full of bliss, full of happiness. And you become free from your anxieties and troubles and so on. Yes. You know, Mauritius, of course, is well known for being quite a sort of happy place. I remember several years ago, just before COVID, I met a man, a politician, and he was in one of the political parties. I can't remember which one, but one of the political parties. And we were talking a bit, and he said, well, I asked, there was elections were just coming up. I said, well, what are you going to do if your party loses? He says, well, it doesn't really matter. I'll just join the other party. And I thought, well, you can't do that, can you? I mean, don't tell Donald Trump that. You're just going to join the Democratic Party. It's like heresy. But this man said, yeah, I'll just join the other party. And I asked him, well, how can you do that? And he said, well, there's no difference really. So that's happy-go-lucky life in Mauritius. But we should chant. We should really get into chanting. And in that way we'll start to get some nice experience which will sort of open our eyes and our ears and our hearts to the spiritual world. And then if we carry on like that, then one fine morning, in the future, one fine morning, we will wake up and we'll no longer be in Lallmatie. We will be in the kingdom of God with Krishna. One fine day, yes. So anyway, there you go, everyone. There's some thoughts on the subject based on the beautiful picture there. And I think we should chant. Is that okay? Is that okay, Gita? Well, Gita means song. So, Bhagavad Gita, the song of God. Yeah. So, okay, let us sing just for a little while, 5 minutes or something. And then what's next? I pray, kirtan, prasad, okay. All right. So let us sing. Would you like to sing? I mean, I'm doing everything.
If I sing, everybody will leave. My voice is horrible.
Sure.
Oh, you're in the kingdom of God. Yes.
Anyway, look. Well, who should sing? I got the mic, I just hold my mic. Do you want to sing?
Whatever you tell
Well,
me to.
no. We're going to get up. Can you sing if we get up? If you get up?
Yeah, I can, but up to you.
Anyway, so we will have kirtan. We will chant now the Hare Krishna mantra. I think everyone knows the words. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, okay, let's do that. Now, who plays the harmonium? Is it you? Oh, it's you? You can follow? Yeah.